I stood in the street looking at my beautiful brand new house. This house really had curb appeal. I admired the way the stone and the wood textures complemented the colors so well. I thought about all the changes and adjustments we made to the original floor plan that all went into this house, probably the best house I'd ever built. It seemed a shame that no happy family would be moving into this home anytime soon. No kids playing in the yard, no smoke curling from the chimney. No, this house would be empty for many months. I was a home builder in Springfield, Missouri in June of 2008. I had just come from a meeting with my lawyer, CPA, and some bankers. It was official. Everything I had worked for, all my houses, all my investments, even my career was gone. I had lost $750,000 in less than 6 months. Although I saw this day coming, nothing really prepared me for the emotions that I felt coursing through my body at that time. I felt an overwhelming sense of relief. It was like a huge weight had been lifted off my shoulders. The hamster wheel that I had been frantically running on for as long as I can remember had been kicked out from underneath me. I was free. I could do whatever I wanted with my life. And what I wanted to do at that moment was to meditate and do yoga. I wanted more of the peace and calmness that came from my regular practices. I wanted to continue on this strange new journey that had begun about a year earlier when my life took an unexpected left turn. I am Brian Kraichely, husband of 3 years, father of a beautiful baby 2-month-old girl. And although I never built another house, I've never stopped building. I'm a success coach who helps build people up to new levels of success, no matter where they are in life. For the last 10 years, I have helped people claim the incredible power that they have and to make more left turns. From a young age, I was fascinated by this idea of success. I read books about successful people, and I loved the stories where they overcame all odds. This restless intensity and desire for success stuck with me over the years, always driving me forward. My parents instilled in me the idea that I could do anything and be anyone that I desired. I believed them, and I hit the ground running with my first job at age 12. I studied hard and I worked my way through high school and college and earning an MBA. I worked in management and sales, and then I discovered real estate. I started a remodeling company. I became a landlord and then a realtor. I worked hard to build wealth and to achieve the success that I desired. And at age 43, I lived in my custom dream house. I had a portfolio of rental properties and a garage filled with toys. And yet, at night, when I was by myself and the house was quiet, I knew that I was not happy. I had a career that I was good at, but I did not feel successful. I had houses and lots of stuff, but I didn't feel wealthy. Unfortunately, I was not alone. A recent Harris Poll study found that only 33% of Americans say that they're happy. Fewer than 1 in 5 Americans feel like they're living the American dream, according to a poll by Hearth Insights. On the outside, it looked like my life was going well. But on the inside, I knew I was missing some big piece of the puzzle. It was like I finally climbed to the top of the ladder, only to realize it was leaning against the wrong wall. I fell into a depression that lingered on for months. Most nights, I was quietly contemplating the meaning of life and trying to figure out what went into this elusive recipe for success and happiness. And that's when I started to hear a voice in my head. And the voice said, "You should do yoga." Now, how many people here have heard the voice in your head? You know, that one that tries to give you helpful guidance? And what do you do? What do you do when you hear that voice? Anybody? Right. There we go. That's what I did. Completely ignore it. Me? Do yoga? Don't be ridiculous. What would my construction buddies say? I don't know anything about yoga. I don't even know anyone who does yoga. But the voice didn't go away. You should do yoga. My golf magazine shows up with an article on how yoga can improve my game. Yoga made the cover of my bicycling magazine. Soon after that, I'm at the YMCA, and I see people walking by with yoga mats. Surrendering to some cosmic conspiracy, I asked at the front desk, and I got a schedule for classes. Several days later, I showed up for my very first yoga class. I was late, all stressed out, running down the hall, out of breath. I nervously joined the group, and I began to move my body in strange new ways in coordination with my breath. This combination of postures, soft Eastern music, and the smell of patchouli calmed my body and mind like nothing I'd ever experienced. I left class in a dreamlike state, enjoying this newfound relaxation. 1 hour of yoga, and I was a different person. I began to appreciate the beauty of the sky, the singing of a bird, and the majesty of an old tree that I had never noticed, although I had passed it every single day for years. As I slowed down, I connected more with the people around me, and I found myself laughing and enjoying the moment. This was a new kind of happiness. This was one I wasn't pursuing. In fact, I often experienced it in unexpected times and ways. These daily mental exercises were helping me to examine my thoughts and beliefs, getting rid of those that were negative and dishonest. I found the process similar to inspecting the files on my computer, deleting malware and outdated programs. I think I was most impressed by the benefits of my daily 10-minute exercise. I was experiencing a mental and physical efficiency that was saving me lots of time, energy, and money. That voice in my head, it was literally reminding me about tools and supplies I needed to bring, as well as people that I needed to call. My ability to give people my attention was improving my relationships, both personal and professional. My hand-eye coordination was noticeably better, which led to fewer job-related injuries, which I had kind of become famous for. I surprised my friends and myself at the golf course by shooting my best round in over a decade, even though I hadn't picked up a club in almost a year. Pretty soon, I noticed I was not just happier, I was healthier too. I no longer had anxiety or insomnia, and I was feeling more rested when I awoke. My frequent migraine headaches were gone. After 19 years of taking allergy medication, a pill and a spray every day with questionable results, my allergies were gone. Without any major changes to my diet, my gout disappeared. Even my gray hair went away, prompting people to ask me if I was coloring it. I was now medication-free, and I was feeling great. And I thought to myself, this is crazy. How did all this happen in just a few short months? I was asked if I would teach these mental skills, attention, concentration, meditation, to other people. And with my construction career on hold, a little extra time on my hands, I said yes. And I realized this was the perfect opportunity for me to help other people, to study what went into this recipe for success and happiness, and to try to understand what had happened to me. For the last 10 years, I've seen hundreds of people from 17 to 81 years of age, from diverse backgrounds, become happier, healthier, and more successful. And it's helped me to understand a little bit more about how all this stuff works. So let's take a closer look at these mental skills. Concentration. When I buy a laundry detergent that's concentrated, it means it's more powerful. I can do more with less. When we take scattered rays of light and we focus them into a single concentrated beam of light, we can create a laser that can cut through anything. When we learn to focus our attention and to really concentrate, our mind becomes very powerful, and we can focus that power on whatever we desire to accomplish. The greatest inventors, artists, and leaders have had a superior ability to focus their minds on whatever it is they desired, sometimes for years until they were successful. Einstein was so focused on his work that he often couldn't remember if he'd eaten lunch. It took Edison over 1,000 tries to create the light bulb. Unfortunately, as a society, we seem to be moving in the opposite direction. With all our cell phones, the internet, and the ever-increasing pace of society, our attention spans are getting shorter and shorter. I even read a 2015 study that suggested goldfish now have longer attention spans than people. The average attention span is the same as the average television soundbite, 9 seconds. We all have lots of distractions and thoughts every day. If you want to try an experiment sometime, take out a blank piece of paper and set your timer for 60 seconds. Every time you realize you're having a thought, make a mark on the paper. Most of us are very surprised by how many thoughts we catch ourselves thinking. I know I was. What's even more shocking is all the thoughts we don't realize we're having. Conservative estimates are 5,000 thoughts a day, with others suggesting as many as 70,000. If we're not conscious of our thoughts, we're not consciously directing our minds. How many people have been talking on the phone while driving and made a few turns, or even ended up at a location and didn't remember how you got there? It's amazing what we can do on autopilot, and a little bit scary. Are you living your life on autopilot? What concentration and attention exercises do is help us slow down our mind so that we become more aware of the quantity and quality of our thoughts. By eliminating negative, dishonest, and outdated thoughts and choosing new and more positive thoughts, we take control of our mind. So how powerful can one thought be? How many people are familiar with placebos? Most everybody. A placebo is a sugar pill given to a patient by a doctor and told this will help you feel better. Oftentimes, the patient does get better because they believe they've been given a powerful medicine. It is the patient's thoughts and beliefs that cure them. Now, if we can be tricked into curing ourselves with the power of our mind, can we learn to use this same power consciously? Yeah. I know the answer is yes. I see some heads nodding. Good, good. Let's take a look at meditation now. A lot of people who begin to meditate become frustrated because their mind is wandering all over the place, or they're actually meditating on all the things they don't want. That's why it's beneficial to first learn to improve your concentration abilities. There are so many scientific studies that show that meditation reduces stress, anxiety, blood pressure, depression. It promotes emotional well-being, helps improve immune functioning, memory, cognitive skills, and the list goes on and on and on. Everyone I know who has meditated regularly has experienced a variety of benefits in their lives. Meditation has afforded me a greater mental space to where I see more choices in the moment. By responding instead of reacting, I make better decisions, and that leads to more successful outcomes. If you're looking down the road of life and you don't see it taking you where you want to go, make a conscious choice to take a left turn. In today's world, there is tremendous opportunities for people who learn to direct their own minds and improve their mental performance. Whatever you are doing now, you can do it better by improving your abilities. Whether you're a business executive, an artist, a professional athlete, or a stay-at-home parent, these mental skills will help you be your best. And what does that look like for you? I know a 64-year-old lady in Chicago who was notorious for misplacing things. After 3 weeks of doing these exercises, she knew where everything was. I remember 2 friends in their mid-20s. One had a college degree and the other didn't. They both significantly increased their income in just a couple of months using these techniques. There was a man in St. Louis who wanted to win his club's tennis tournament, and he heard concentration exercises would improve his performance. He did the daily exercises and he won the tournament. We all have the power to change our lives in any moment. The research proves it, and we all know people who have done it. The tools and the training are available for those who desire to reach higher levels of success and happiness. If you want something different, something better for yourself and your loved ones, then I challenge you. Invest 20 to 30 minutes a day improving yourself by practicing mental skills. Try meditation. Maybe do a little yoga. Listen to the voice in your head, and most importantly, take some of those left turns.